Let me tell you something that every man and woman must burn into their heart if they are to reach the mountaintop of life. Struggle is not your enemy, it is your invitation to greatness. It is not there to destroy you, but to refine you, to prepare you for the throne you were born to sit upon. Every great victory was once wrapped in pain. Every man who ever rose from nothing to something first had to face moments when it felt like nothing would ever change. But the key, the absolute key, is that they kept going. When the world said no, they whispered, "I will." When their bank account said empty, their faith said abundant. When their dreams seemed distant, their discipline brought them closer. You see, life does not reward the lazy nor the complainer. It rewards the one who keeps planting seeds even when the ground looks barren. It rewards the one who sweats when no one is watching, who labors while others laugh, who wakes up early when others roll back into their sleep. Yes, the nights may be long right now. Yes, your hands may be calloused, your back bent, your heart tested, but hear me loud and clear. The good day is coming. There is a season for everything. Struggle is the season of sowing. Sweat is the down payment on your future success. The hard times are not curses, they are classes. You are being educated in the most powerful university in the world, the university of real life. And every hardship you overcome adds muscle to your character. You cannot buy that strength, you must earn it, but do not be fooled, the universe is not blind. The creator of opportunity takes notes. Every early morning, every late night, every sacrifice, every moment you chose faith over fear, it all counts. There is no such thing as wasted effort. There is no such thing as invisible discipline. The roots grow in silence, but soon the tree will break the surface. Keep your focus, keep your grind, keep your vision crystal clear. And keep your struggle, yes, keep your struggle, because that struggle is building something in you that comfort never could. It is building resilience, belief, hunger, the very ingredients required to hold onto the success that is racing toward you. Do not give up 5 minutes before your breakthrough. Do not walk away just as the sun is rising. You have come too far, fought too hard, prayed too long. This is not the end, this is the beginning of the turning point. One day soon, you will wake up and the struggle will be over. The clouds will part, the blessings will flood in, and you will smile through tears of gratitude, knowing it was the pain that prepared you.
It was the hardship that made you ready. You will look back and say, "I'm glad I kept going." So today, walk 1 more mile, take 1 more step, make 1 more call, build 1 more habit, because the good day isn't just coming.
It is already on its way, and it is looking for the one who never gave up. Keep struggling, keep believing, keep rising. Your reward is waiting. Struggle is the forge where greatness is born. There is no success worth having that did not first pass through the furnace of hardship.
The man who shuns struggle, who runs from difficulty, who avoids pain, he also runs from strength, avoids growth, and rejects the very tools that would have carved him into something powerful. Do not curse your struggle.
Embrace it, for it is doing more for you than comfort ever will. You see, the human soul does not evolve in ease. It sharpens in resistance. Just as iron is tempered by fire and steel is hardened by pressure, your mind, your character, your determination are all being formed and fortified in the depths of your current challenge. You may think the struggle is delaying your success, but no, it is preparing you to hold it. You cannot carry the weight of abundance until you have carried the burden of adversity. And no man becomes truly powerful until he has first been broken, until he has stood face to face with his limitations and chosen to push through them. That is where the transformation happens, not in the applause, not in the spotlight, but in the shadows when no one sees and no one claps and no one even knows you're still fighting. Do not let the silence of this season fool you. Just because your progress is not being recognized doesn't mean it's not real. Your roots are growing. You are becoming something different, something stronger, something more capable than you were yesterday. Every time you rise after being knocked down, you gain strength.
Every moment you choose courage over fear, you gain power. Every decision to keep going, when quitting would be easier, that is when you separate yourself from the average, from the mediocre, from the masses who would rather watch life happen than rise up and shape it.
You may look around and wonder why others seem to have it easier, why their road appears smoother, why their days look brighter, but let me tell you this: what comes easy rarely lasts, and what lasts rarely comes easy. You are not being punished, you are being prepared, prepared for something greater than the ordinary, prepared for something heavier than shallow success. You are being carved into a vessel that can carry the kind of wealth, influence, and purpose that lightweights cannot handle. And make no mistake, the world will test you before it blesses you. It will demand proof of your readiness. It will ask, do you really want this? Are you willing to earn it? And your struggle is your answer. Every drop of sweat, every night of doubt, every morning you drag yourself out of bed and push forward, that is the evidence that you are willing to pay the price, and the man who pays the price owns the reward. So do not despise your difficulty. Do not resist your challenge. Welcome it, for it is the hand that molds you. It is the tutor that teaches you discipline. It is the weight that builds your endurance. You cannot wish for strength, you must train for it. You cannot hope for resilience, you must be tested. And you cannot fake greatness, you must be forged. The struggle is not your punishment, it is your preparation. It is your proving ground. It is your opportunity to become more than you were, and far more than others expect you to be. So today, if the battle feels heavy, if the road feels endless, if your hands feel worn and your mind weary, take this as a sign you are in the right place. Because only those who press through the struggle ever see the mountaintop. Only those who endure the fire are worthy of the crown. Struggle, my friend, is not your enemy, it is your ally, it is your teacher. It is the very thing that will lead you to your greatest self if you will only keep going, keep the faith, keep the grind, because behind every struggle a stronger version of you is waiting to be revealed. In every moment of uncertainty you are given a choice. You can surrender to your circumstances, or you can stand up with faith and discipline and command your future. Let it be understood now and forever, it is not your surroundings that shape your destiny. It is your decisions, it is your belief, it is your will. There will be times when everything around you whispers that you're not enough. The bank account will say you're broke. The job may feel like a dead end. The people around you might doubt you, ignore you, or even try to pull you down. But those things, as loud as they may seem, are only echoes. The real voice, the one that carries power, is the voice inside of you. It is the voice that says, I will rise. It is the whisper that grows into a roar, I am not done yet. You were not created to be ruled by what you see. You were designed to be driven by what you believe. And belief, when backed by unshakable discipline, becomes a force no man, no failure, no obstacle can resist. Understand this, discipline is not punishment. It is permission to succeed, permission to live free, permission to outgrow the limits placed upon you. It is the bridge that connects where you are to where you want to be, and without it, faith is just fantasy. You may have dreams and you may have desire, but it is your discipline that turns them into results. It is the small, unseen choices, waking up when it's uncomfortable, doing the work when no one is watching, saying no to what's easy and yes to what's necessary, that lay the foundation for greatness. Now, hear me on this. The circumstances you face today are not permanent. They are temporary situations trying to test a permanent truth, your power to decide. The winds of life may blow against you, but the sail of discipline steers you forward. The darkness may try to hide your path, but the torch of faith lights your way. Don't wait for the situation to change before you believe. Believe first, and the situation will begin to change. This is how champions are made, not by chance, but by choice. The choice to stand when it's hard, the choice to act when others hesitate, the choice to trust the process, even when there are no immediate signs of progress. The world does not hand success to the one who merely wants it. It opens up to the one who prepares for it, who organizes their day with intention, who disciplines their mind against doubt, who works harder on themselves than they do on their job. So let the others drift. Let them scroll, complain, compare, and wait. You will build, you will train, you will sacrifice what is temporary for what is eternal. That's what separates the driven from the drifting, the conqueror from the crowd. Your faith must be the fuel, your discipline must be the engine, and together they will carry you through storms, through setbacks, through silence, and straight into the life you were born to live. When doubt knocks, answer with action. When fear whispers, respond with focus. When failure tries to break you, smile because you know it's only refining you. Everything you're doing now, the late nights, the early mornings, the discipline, the discomfort is a down payment on a future you haven't even seen yet. But rest assured that future is coming. It's being shaped right now by the choices you make when no one is looking. You don't need ideal circumstances. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need anyone to believe in you. You just need to believe in yourself and prove that belief with disciplined, daily action. So if life feels heavy right now, good. That means you're moving. That means you're lifting. That means you're becoming the kind of person who can handle success without being destroyed by it. Faith without discipline is hollow. But together they are unstoppable. Keep going, keep showing up. Keep proving to yourself and to the world that you are not a product of your environment. You are the architect of your destiny. There is no such thing as wasted effort. Not when the intention is pure, the action is deliberate, and the goal is worthy. Every step you take, even when it appears to lead nowhere, is part of a path larger than you can see, and the man who understands this truth never quits, he endures. He persists. He presses forward when all visible signs say, turn back. Most people give up because they don't see immediate results. They confuse silence with failure. They mistake delay for denial. But nothing could be further from the truth. The work you are doing right now, the long hours, the quiet sacrifices, the discipline behind closed doors, it is all accumulating in your favor. You must remember, the roots always grow before the fruit appears. And roots do not make noise, they dig in darkness. They fight through stone and dirt to establish a foundation so strong that no storm can shake what is coming. The same is true of your life. The foundation is being laid right now. It doesn't matter if the world doesn't applaud. It doesn't matter if your name isn't on billboards or trending on social media. The applause that matters is the one that echoes within the voice that tells you you are doing the right thing. Stay the course. Too many people abandon their path because they crave external validation. They want the spotlight before they've earned the structure to carry the weight of it. But the truth is this: the success that lasts is the success that is built silently, patiently, with no shortcuts, no cheating, and no handouts. So do not underestimate the power of your daily discipline. The early morning grind, the focus you bring to your craft, the way you show up when no one else does, these are not small things. These are everything. They are the invisible building blocks of a life that will one day stand tall while others wonder how you got there. They didn't see the pain. They didn't see the setbacks. They didn't see the days you wanted to quit but didn't. But you'll know, and that's enough. You see, effort that goes unseen is not effort wasted. It is effort invested, and that investment compounds day by day, moment by moment. Most people quit at 40% of their true potential. They stop digging just before they strike gold, but not you. You will keep going, even when the mine seems empty. Because you know what others forget, the gold is always deeper than the doubters dig. This world has a peculiar way of rewarding those who refuse to quit. It waits, it watches, it tests, and then suddenly it opens. A door you didn't expect appears, an opportunity you couldn't plan for is dropped into your hands, but that moment only arrives because of all the invisible work you did in silence. Do not envy the man who rises fast. Envy the man who builds slow, who builds deep, who does not need validation to stay consistent, because that is the man who will still be standing when others fall. That is the man whose work lasts beyond applause. There will be mornings when you wake up and feel like nothing is working. Keep going. There will be nights when the doubt creeps in. Keep going. There will be moments when giving up seems easier than pressing forward. Keep going, because one day, not someday, but soon you will look back and realize not a single effort was wasted. Every drop of sweat, every lonely night, every ignored call, every no that you turned into fuel, it was all necessary. All meaningful, all connected. The world sees only the harvest, but the wise man respects the seed, and you, my friend, are planting something great. So treat every effort as sacred. Treat every hour of focus as holy. Treat every small win as a brick in the empire you are building. You may not see the results yet. That's fine. The universe works in silence before it speaks, but it is speaking your name. It is watching. And it is preparing to reward every ounce of effort you refuse to waste. So keep building, keep believing. Nothing done with purpose is ever wasted. You cannot harvest what you have not sown, and you cannot reap what you have not endured. Life is governed by seasons, and success is no different. There is a season for planting, a season for watering, a season for weeding, and yes, a season for harvesting. But let there be no confusion. You must first endure the early seasons before you ever taste the fruit. The impatient man will never rise. He rushes the process and resents the wait. He wants the reward without the grind. He wants the spotlight without the shadow. But the man who endures, who wakes up day after day and does the work when no one is watching, he is the one who is preparing himself to hold what others only dream of. The soil of success does not respond to speed. It responds to consistency. It does not care how fast you want results. It only responds to what you're willing to give, day in and day out, in the face of no applause, no recognition, and no instant reward. The reason so many never rise is because they quit too early. They quit in the season of preparation. They dig for a few days, a few weeks, maybe even a few months, and when nothing appears, they call it barren. But what they fail to understand is this: the roots always grow before the tree breaks through, and if you do not give the roots time to take hold, the tree will never stand. You are being tested in the waiting. You are being trained in the struggle, and you are being proven in the silence. Endurance is not just about patience, it's about faith. Faith that what you are doing now will bear fruit later. Faith that your sacrifices are not in vain. Faith that the unseen effort is never wasted. If you have that kind of faith, the kind that works while others rest, the kind that builds when others boast, the kind that believes when others doubt, then nothing can stop you. But you must endure the loneliness, endure the rejection, endure the confusion, endure the long days and the even longer nights, endure the doubt in your mind and the doubt in their eyes. Because every great man, every empire builder, every master of his craft first had to suffer through the seasons of delay. Think of the seed buried in darkness, no sunlight, no praise, no guarantee. Yet it pushes upward. It breaks through soil not because someone is cheering for it, but because it was born to grow, and so are you. You are in your growing season. You are in the unseen stage of your legacy. And what you choose to do now in this quiet, unseen, grueling season will determine how high and how far your success will reach. Let others rush, you build deep. Let others demand, you develop. Let others chase the easy win, you focus on the lasting result. Because you're not just looking for success, you're preparing for sustained greatness. And that kind of reward only comes to the one who is willing to endure the full process. The harvest will come, make no mistake about that. Your time will come, the breakthrough, the abundance, the recognition, the peace, the freedom, it's all on its way. But it's reserved for the man who did not run from the dirt, who did not escape the grind, who did not reject the delay, but instead leaned in and declared, I will not quit, I will not stop, I will endure until I win. So if today feels hard, good. That means you're still in the fight. That means you haven't folded. That means you're still sowing seeds, still building muscle, still preparing for a life far greater than anything the average man will ever taste. Let them doubt, let them mock, let them say it's taking too long. You know what they don't. The longer it takes, the stronger you become, the deeper the roots, the greater the rise. And when your harvest arrives, not if, but when it will be more than enough to justify every single ounce of endurance you showed when it would have been easier to walk away, keep going, keep building. Keep believing, because the man who endures is the man who reaps it all. There is a moment just before the miracle when the pressure feels unbearable, when everything in you screams to stop, when the voices of doubt grow louder than the vision in your heart. That moment, that final test, is where most people quit, and in quitting they trade destiny for comfort and breakthrough for retreat. Let me tell you something eternal and unshakable. The moment you feel like quitting is almost always the moment just before something shifts. That's not just poetic, that's how life works. The darkest hour is always right before dawn. The final steps of a marathon hurt the most. The final push in a battle is where the war is won. Why? Because pressure intensifies at the brink of transformation. When you're right at the edge, life will test your resolve one last time. It will whisper, give up, you've done enough, you're tired, you've failed too many times. But that voice is not truth, it's a barrier. And if you break through that barrier, you enter a space few men ever experience, the place where results explode, doors open, and everything you've worked for begins to compound. Most people never see this place, not because they were unworthy, but because they stopped digging inches from the gold. They put in months, sometimes years of effort, and then gave up just before the harvest. Let me be clear, effort is never wasted, but abandonment always delays destiny. If you had just held on for one more round, one more try, one more sunrise, you would have seen the reward. And that's what separates the great from the forgotten, the ability to keep going when everything in you wants to stop. Your breakthrough does not announce itself in advance. It doesn't send a calendar invite. It doesn't knock politely and say, I'll arrive tomorrow at noon. No, it comes suddenly, but only to the one who stayed long enough to receive it. There will come a time when you'll look back on the days you felt most defeated and realize those were the days your foundation was laid. The struggle was not in vain. The sleepless nights, the tears you wiped away alone, the sacrifices no one noticed, they were building something inside of you far more valuable than applause. They were building endurance, clarity, and unshakable strength. But the bridge between struggle and reward is built with one word, persistence, not talent, not timing, not luck, persistence. The man who persists becomes unstoppable, not because the road is easy, but because he refuses to leave the road no matter how hard it gets. He understands that quitting guarantees failure, and continuing no matter how messy, how uncertain, how exhausting keeps the possibility of triumph alive, even when the odds are stacked, even when the doors seem sealed. Even when you've heard no, so many times your ears ring with rejection, you keep moving, because every step forward is a strike against the old life and a declaration of the new one you're building. Listen closely. The distance between where you are now and where you want to be is not measured in miles. It's measured in decisions, the decision to try one more time, to speak life when your mind is full of doubt. To act bold when your knees shake, to walk with courage even when fear walks beside you. That is how breakthroughs are born, not through perfection, but through perseverance. You must condition your mind to expect resistance just before reward. You must train your spirit to recognize that fatigue is not the finish line, it is the furnace, and what goes into the furnace either melts or becomes forged. Let your struggle forge you. Let your hardship harden you in the right way. Let your doubt fuel your devotion, because if you hold the line just a little longer, if you lean in, when it feels like falling apart, you will rise to meet the moment you've been waiting for, and when it arrives, it will all make sense. You'll look back and say, "Thank God I didn't quit," because that one decision, that one extra step, that refusal to walk away, that's the one that changed your life. Keep walking. You're closer than you think. Keep building. You're stronger than you know. Don't quit now. Your breakthrough is already on the way. There is a powerful truth that many overlook in their journey. What you desire is already in motion. It's moving toward you with every step you take in faith. You may not see it, you may not feel it, but the reward is not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The harvest always follows the seed. That is not philosophy, it is law, universal law. Just as the sun rises after the night and the tide returns to shore, your reward is drawn to you by the force of your persistent action, your unwavering belief, and your refusal to surrender to doubt. You must understand, life is not withholding success from you, life is preparing success for you. Right now, as you struggle, as you sacrifice, as you discipline yourself day after day, the wheels of fate are turning in your favor. Doors are being built for you to walk through. People you haven't met yet are being positioned to bless you. Opportunities are forming in places you haven't seen, but this unfolding will only reach you if you keep moving. You see, most people give up because they think nothing is happening. They look around and say, "Why hasn't it arrived yet?" But the truth is, your reward is not late. It is exactly on time. What's required of you now is not panic, not frustration, not surrender, but patience, focus, and faith. When you understand that your reward is already coming, you act differently. You no longer chase success with desperation, you prepare for it with confidence. You train your mind, you sharpen your skills, you organize your life so that when the reward arrives, it finds you ready, not reckless. There is a great danger in expecting immediate gratification. It is the mindset of the weak. The strong understand that anything worth having must first be earned in silence. The reward does not come to the loud, to the lazy, to the distracted, it comes to the devoted. It comes to the man who shows up day after day with no evidence, no applause, no guarantee, but keeps going anyway, because he knows faith is not just belief, faith is belief backed by action. You cannot wait to see the reward to believe it is real. You must believe it is real so strongly that you act as if it were already yours. That is how you align yourself with the future you desire, not by hoping, by preparing, by moving, by refusing to be seduced by doubt or delayed by fear. The man who lives this way is already successful, not because he has the reward in hand, but because he carries it in his mind, in his habits, in his actions. He is magnetic. The future sees him and says, he's ready, and so the reward speeds up. It moves toward him, it bends to meet his timeline, and when it arrives it comes in abundance, not in drops but in floods, not as a coincidence but as a consequence, the consequence of consistency. The consequence of resilience, the consequence of holding the line when every part of you wanted to let go. Remember, the struggle may be loud, but so is the reward. The delay may be long, but the victory lasts longer. The silence of this season may feel empty, but the fullness that's coming will make every quiet moment worth it. You are not being ignored. You are being observed. You are being tested to see if you are ready to receive the weight of what you've asked for. So take another step, write another page, build another piece of your vision, keep your thoughts pure, keep your habits sharp. Keep your spirit lit like a flame that refuses to die, because the reward, your reward, is not a fantasy. It's not far, it's not uncertain, it is already on the way, and when it reaches you, when the dream you carried in your mind becomes real in your life, you will understand why the wait was necessary, why the pain was preparation, why the delay was divine, you will say to yourself, it was worth it. So hold the vision, honor the process, and trust this truth: the reward is coming, and it's coming for you.